How's it going, everybody? Just another day out here in the garage, working on Kiwi's big block, 512 stroker. And I just got finished putting the pistons back in for the last time. I put them in earlier to find out what my clearance was going to be on my rod bearings. And got that done. Got it pulled out. Now I've got all the rings and everything on the pistons. They're back in, so we're getting ready to torque them down for the last time. And let me show you what the specs were. So those are my mains and my rod specs on the clearance. So we're all within spec. Everything's ready to go. And now let's get to torquing. So anyway, so far this motor has gone together pretty good. I haven't really had to do any filing on the block. Everything is cleared. The only thing I had to file down a little bit was where the pickup tube screws into the block area. And so I shaved it down a little bit on the edge. So now I got clearance on number 1 rod. And but yeah, so far I'm happy with it. I mean, 440 source does a great job, especially on balancing everything. And I can't say nothing bad about it right now. So anyway, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna get my motor set up. I'm gonna work here out. And the torque specs on this is 63 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna do it in 2 stages. I'm gonna do it in 30, and then the final torque being 63. And that'll more or less button up the bottom end. We're still waiting on some parts to come in. They were supposed to come in today, so they'll probably be here tomorrow. And other than that, let's get started. Now when I torque, I like to do things in stages instead of all at once. And some people do it 1 shot, some people do it 3. I like doing it in 2, except when it comes to the Gen 3 stuff, it's in 2 stages plus 90 degrees. The older blocks, you know, it's basically do it once, twice, 3 times. It's up to you what you want to do. Me personally, I do it in 2s. All right, now I just did my first round at 30, and yes, I used the ARP torque lube. They're right on there in the bolts, in the hole. All right, now we got it set for 63, and we're going to start again. I'm going to start from the back where I ended at and work my way back. There you have it. 63 foot-pounds. But I've been taking my time with this motor, and because it is for somebody else, so I'm double checking things. Sometimes I'm triple checking things. It's like when I hand file the rings, make sure they're where I want them at. And so what's next now? Wait for some more stuff to come in. It's supposed to have a full gasket kit covered in, different oil pan pickup tube, and start sealing this thing together. And I do appreciate y'all coming along for the build and everything. And I know some things I don't show. It just happens sometimes with the editing. Sometimes I get involved in doing it and forget to record. And I'm not going to tear the motor back down again just so I can record. But basically, I mean, this has been a fun build. We got all 8 pistons in now. They fit nice. And the clearance on the pistons and cylinder walls are right where they need to be at per spec from 440 source. But I also want to reiterate, the other day while I was doing the pistons, getting everything set up for the rods and everything, and these pistons here have valve reliefs in them, but they're considered to the exhaust intake. It doesn't have an even cutout. As you can see here, the cutouts are bigger for the intake, smaller for the exhaust. So I can't sit there, and some of y'all were jokingly talking about flipping the pistons, and but these are centric to each cylinder versus what's on the head. And that's what I was saying the other day. It was real important, especially with these pistons, to make sure you put them in right. So that way you're not sitting there and having to take them back out again because you screwed up. But as you can see here, how it's set up, you got exhaust, intake, intake, exhaust, exhaust, intake, intake, and exhaust. So that's how these pistons have to line up. But they are nice, that's for sure. But like I said before, I'm taking my time on this. I want it done right. And I want this to be a really good motor for Kiwi. And a lot of y'all made some comments about the cam too, not being big enough for the build. You know, even at the end of the day, Kiwi has a budget. So after we found out what it was, I mean, it's going to be fine for what he wants to do. Are we going to get maximum horsepower out of it? No. His intention is down the road is to sell the car with the motor in it to either somebody who wants Kiwi to finish the car or take it on to themselves. So at that time, you know, they can say, hey, I want a bigger cam in it, or they can go order their cam themselves. But with the time constraints, and also, like I said, he's on a budget too, we are going ahead and using this cam. And if you want to know what the cam specs are on this, you can watch the previous video, and actually 2 videos back, where it says Kiwi's mystery cam solved. Go on that. It has the size of the cam. But for what we're going to be doing for and get it up and running, he's still going to be in the 500 plus range with no problems. And but we'll take it as parts come in, guys. But other than that, I'm going to get back to it, and I'll see you down the road.